guys, welcome back to my channel, and don't worry, I am wearing clothes, okay? You just can't see it, but today I'll be doing a collab with Frankie Blue, and if you don't know who he is a good friend, and not only that, he is really good with makeup. He's very talented. He has such a unique way with mixing colors, even colors you wouldn't normally see mesh together. Somehow he can pull it off. I don't know how he does it, but he does a really good job. And here are some examples of some of his looks. I mean, you gotta admit, they're pretty stunning. And for our collab, we're doing the palette tag, which is you rate all your palettes like newest, oldest, favorite, most used, you know what I mean, everyday palette. I'll have his video linked down below in the descriptions so you can go check it out. And don't forget to like and subscribe to his channel as well. Alright, so for the first one is going to be the newest palette that I have, and that would be the Violet Voss Essentials palette. And I know it's not like the newest out of all my collection, but it is the newest addition in my collection, you know? This is a palette, and I do recommend this palette. It's really good. It's really nice. You get your transition shades, your warm tones, your shimmers. You got a black that you need a black for almost every look, in my opinion. So it can go from like daytime to a night look, a sultry look, you know what I mean? You can do pretty much a variety of looks with this. It can go from day to night, which is perfect. It's also good for travel, so I really love this palette. It's new to my collection, but I really love it. By the way, I have it all written down here, so it looks like crap, I know, but anyway, the next palette would be the oldest palette that I have, and that would be the Jaclyn Hill palette. This is the oldest one. Oh, poor baby. She is so dirty. Now, there's a lot of controversy about this palette. Like, supposedly not supposedly, they've already proved it, but the old formula, which is the one that I have, I ordered this like when they restocked it the first time. So it's still the original packaging. It's still the original formula. And you can tell I've been loving it so much. It's a lot. I'm not going to lie. It's a lot of the colors I don't really use because it's so many repetitive shades. But at the same time, they are really good. But I'm pretty sure you can kind of tell which ones I use the most by the pans. But also, I think I'm going to make this a project pan because it is about 3 years old now. So, and it expires within 12 months, I think it is. Yeah, supposedly it's after a year it expires, but I've had it for 3 years and it's still doing pretty good. But I think it's about time I toss it. So I'm just going to make it a project pan and try to use it for the rest of the year. And I'll show you guys on Instagram my results after I hit pan on at least one of them. I hope at least I hit pan on one of these shades by December. I'll definitely let you guys know how that goes. The next one would be my most expensive palette in my collection. And that's going to be the Bloodlust palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. And this is what the baby looks like right there. And everybody said that, or actually a lot of people did say that it doesn't seem like it's a purple palette because it looked too like pastel, like really washed out. But honestly, it's a big misunderstanding because this one, like these two shades are freaking very pigmented, very bright and bold colors. Like even that one right there, like don't just go by what it looks like, because on the skin it looks so much better, so much different, so much more vibrant. Don't be mistaken, it is a really good purple palette. This is not a bad palette. I mean, I love purple, so I kind of figured I was already gonna love it. But after testing in the shadows, it's definitely a for sure that I absolutely love this palette. All right, so for the next palette is going to be the least expensive palette that I have. And it's actually 4 of them because they're all pretty much the same ones. It is the e.l.f. bite-sized palettes. I have 4 of them. I don't have the entire collection, but for the ones that I do have, I love the formula. Like for $3 and you get 4 eyeshadows, and I'm not gonna lie to you, they're really good. My favorite ones are actually the cream and sugar. This is such a beautiful color story. And also the carnival candy, and that blue is my favorite. It's so gosh darn beautiful. I highly recommend that. Whether you are into high-end or just drugstore, they're worth the money. $3. What do you got to lose? That's less than a bus fare. In my state, that's less than a bus fare. So trust me, you're not going to regret it. Pick whatever color story that speaks to you the most. But trust me, try it. All right, so the next one is the everyday palette. And that one, I know a lot of people are like, everyday palette, like, I guess it really just depends on the person, like what an everyday color story or the theme of the palette would be. But for me, I like a variety. I do. I don't just want to go all natural or, you know what I mean, like neutral, natural, nude looks. I like a variety for my everyday. And this one is going to be it. It is the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette, the original one. I think they have the Zodiac love signs or something like that. But I grabbed this one, and the shimmers are absolutely beautiful. I think they're baked shimmers, like baked eyeshadows. I'm not too sure. Don't take my word for it because I'm not really sure. But this would be my everyday palette. It's got my warm tones, my cool tones, my pops of color. It's got pretty much everything I would ever want. And that middle one is actually like a highlighter. And I use it for my inner corner, or a gold little shimmer kind of a thing. Let's see if you can see that. So this to me would be my everyday palette because I can switch it from a nude look or a bold look or even nighttime. You know what I mean? Like it just really depends on my mood. And this one is really good. The formula is actually pretty good, but I do highly recommend it. It's a really good palette. All right, on to the next. The next one is the most colorful, and can you guys take a guess which one that is? Drum roll, please. No, I'm just kidding. It is the James Charles palette, and you can't disagree with me by that. If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't really use a lot of the top section or even the middle section. I only grab this palette when I want color. That's it. I don't even go for a everyday look, or you know what I mean, like a toned down look with any of the, like, I don't, I hate to say it, I just really don't care for the formula. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for that, but I really don't like the formula. I like the colors. I mean, I can work with the formula. It's fine. It's decent enough. You get, like, if this was your first palette you would be okay. You got most of every color you would need to start off. But it's not my favorite. I only pick it for the colors. That's pretty much it. If I can find another palette that's got similar colors, like a rainbow, a good rainbow color, I probably would get that and just not repurchase this anymore. But yeah, that's how I feel about this palette. So next palette is gonna be, where am I at? Oh, the smallest palette. And it's definitely the e.l.f. bite-sized palettes. And I mean, look, it's super tiny. It's like almost the size of 2 fingers. Look, see? It's really small. So that's definitely my smallest palette. Now the next palette is the biggest palette. And there again, it is my James Charles palette. Look, smallest palette, biggest palette. That's a big difference, okay? Very big difference. Next one is the palette with the best memory. And the palette with the best memory, it is my Jaclyn Hill palette. This is one of the first palettes I bought to start my makeup collection and all that stuff, you know what I mean? This is one of the first products in general that I bought when I started collecting makeup. I used this for my wedding. My sister bought this for me for my birthday, which was really special to me, and shout out to my sister, you're the best. Like, this is a really good palette. I don't even know if I'm gonna throw this away after after it gets old, where it's like basically not wearable anymore. I don't think I'm gonna throw it away, just because it holds something very special to me, you know. The next palette is gonna be the palette that's worth the hype. Now, the palette that is worth the hype to me, it did get a lot of hype. It got a lot of hype, but it was justified because this is a really good palette, and it is the Smoke Show palette. The colors are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it's not a lot you can do with it, obviously, but the black like the formula is really good. The shimmers are really good, and that white is so pigmented. Like, look at that. I don't know if you could tell. Go after the second time, but it really is. It's really pigmented. It's better than the white on the James Charles palette. I hate that one. That's like one of the worst shades I have. That's one of the worst shades I believe in that palette, is the white one. It's just nothing. It's almost like a translucent white. I hate it. Anyway, but the best thing about this palette, if you don't like any of the colors, and the only color that I would say I would still buy this palette just for this one color. Can you take a guess which one it is? It's the silver one. It is intense, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Like, I have never seen a prettier silver shadow in my life. That is the best. It feels wet. It feels like it's so foiled, so metallic. Like, I can't get enough. I would pay $12 just for that color. I'm not even kidding you. That's how good that color is. Get that palette. Just for that color, get that palette. I highly, highly recommend that palette. So good. Such a good color. Such a good palette. Alright guys, so while editing this video, I completely skipped one of them. It is the Not Worth the Hype palette, and I'm sorry to say this one is definitely not worth the hype. It's like the smaller version of Celestial Storm from Dominique Cosmetics. And yes, the colors look great, like it looks nice or whatever, but this is with the flash on, by the way, and then flash off. But I don't like I don't know how to explain it. This color is beautiful. I mean, that color is beautiful, but you know what? It's the color story. It doesn't really go together in my opinion. Like, this one is probably like my least favorite shade in the palette. It's the black matter because it looks pretty and everything, but it doesn't come off like that on the eyes. It just doesn't look that pretty. You know what I mean? Like, it looks pretty on the finger, but it just doesn't come off like that on the eyes. I don't know. It just looks very flaky, powdery. It's hard to explain. Like, this shadow right here is definitely the prettiest. Oops. I had some of that other color, but it's definitely the prettiest one in here, but the rest is just, I'm sorry, it just does nothing for me. I don't like it. I'm really sorry. Like, the formula for the mattes are pretty good, but this one's kind of like you have to build it up just to get that intense color. This one, it's okay. It does its thing. I don't really care for the lunar eclipse or the storm dust. I don't really care, and definitely zero gravity. Like, why? I don't like you. Anyway, but yeah, I forgot to add this one, but it was the palette not worth the hype, and I'm very sorry to say, but this one is definitely not worth it. Okay, back to the video. Alright guys, we're almost done. We only got 2 more palettes to go, and that would be, it's gonna be the favorite palette from favorite brand. I know I said I love the Smoke Show and I only get it for that one color, but there is a palette from Colourpop that I think is my favorite, that I've tried, okay, that I've tried, because I haven't tried all of them, but that I've tried. This is my favorite. It is the Disney Midnight Masquerade palette in collab with Colourpop. I mean, that's pretty, right? Like, how beautiful is that? So gorgeous. They look so beautiful, but that's not why I like the palette. The colors in here are just so gorgeous. I can do a lot of looks with this. The glitters are so pretty on the eyes. I mean, I know they're not supposed to be for the eyes, disclaimer, but they are very beautiful. The formula is really good. The colors really complement my skin. When I wear it, I feel really good. You know what I mean? Like, it's a really good palette. I do recommend this one. Now, last but not least is my most used palette, and we already talked about her. I'm not going to bring her out again. That's how much we were talking about her. It is the Jaclyn Hill palette. That's my most used. I've showed you how much I used out of it, and not only that, like I said, I'm going to do a project pan with that. I'm going to try to use it every day, and hopefully by December I hit pan on at least one shadow. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I really hoped you enjoyed it. I'm kind of curious to know, what palettes is Frankie gonna use for his video? I can't wait to see his. It's definitely cool to see other people's collection and which ones are their favorite or their most loved ones. You know what I mean? I love seeing other people's collections. But yeah, don't forget to check his video after this. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.